Welcome to Pretoria's Zootopia, an analysis and vision of an improved National Zoological Gardens. The Zoological Gardens of Pretoria is a pocket of rich biodiversity within the urban fabric of the city. It is home to many different habitats, species, and multiple ecologically valuable areas. The people that visit the zoo come to immerse themselves within the natural environment. Our aim is not to force new infrastructure and spaces, but to improve on and enhance the existing ecological and spatial frameworks of the zoo. We plan to do so by optimizing on underutilized public spaces, conserving sensitive ecology, and creating an immersive and engaging experience for the universal user.
We engage with various sources of knowledge from physical site visits to the zoo, literature research, workshops, and guest lectures to inform our mapping analysis. We look at the site location and consideration for our mapping, and for design approach, we look at the site analysis and presented our vision. Here we see a historical and ecological evolution of Pretoria's Upper River Valley, highlighting its transformation from a natural life-sustaining water source into a channelized degraded urban stormwater system. The Pretoria Zoo is located at the north of the city center of Pretoria in the greater city of Tshwane. The site falls within the savanna biome characterized by seasonal rainfall, warm climates, and diverse vegetation.
The Zoological Gardens of Pretoria is situated within a few historically significant nodes within the city, but it first started as a farm, Kleinskomansdal, and belonged to a previous ZAR president. It was later renamed Dissen Erbe and became the home of the State Museum. Dr. J.W.B. Gunning was the first executive director and founded the zoo on the principles of conservation and learning. Since its official establishment in 1916, every director since then has added their significant mark to the zoo to make it what it is today. In 2018, Sandby took over the management of the zoo, shifting its focus from research to biodiversity. Through research and observation, we found the zoo developed from a south to a north direction, towards the ridge. Most of the development is below the Oppies River, where the ridge and hill is categorized by open spaces and fewer buildings. This also shows the disturbances on site, aligning with its development.
We analyzed the existing ecosystem at the zoo, which consists of humans and diverse habitat that supports a variety of flora and fauna. We identified sensitive areas within the zoo. We noted irreplaceable critical biodiversity areas, the ridge and the river, which must be protected. Critical biodiversity areas that are important and must be conserved, and some plants along these areas, and ecological support zones that support the sensitivity areas within the zoo. These areas require conservation to maintain biodiversity according to the NIMBA Act that protect biodiversity, regulates species and ecosystem, and ensures sustainable environmental management.
Climate change is the leading cause of water scarcity, especially as populations grow. According to ESI, South Africa is projected to face a 17% water deficit by 2030. This highlights the urgent need for effective water resource management and to ensure sustainability and conservation within the area. So with the microclimates, the landscape consists of different zones with varying temperatures and elevations. The higher the elevations, the hotter the temperatures. The low-lying areas are a lot cooler. Then you have your dry conditions where on the higher elevations, your wet conditions where are found by the river area, and your moderate conditions where are found by the low-lying areas. So through our observation, we have noted noise levels that vary within the zoo. The lower parts of the zoo home to birds and monkeys, which are a lot louder, where the lions and your savanna animals are a lot quieter. Understanding these patterns help in planning optimal locations for both animals and visitors. In regards to the hydrology, we have noted the existing water bodies and areas that are in need. So according to the research paper by Rudud on Pretoria and the Appies River, stormwater from the Wonderboom Ridge flows through the Pretoria Zoo and eventually to the Appies River. As it moves, the urban runoff, increases water volume, potentially leading to erosion and flooding. The AP River serves as a crucial catchment area, helping to absorb excess water, reduce flood risk, and replenish groundwater. Strategic water management can include your sediment control and your burning, which ensures a cleaner and safer river system. So according to your geology and flora map, according to the desktop research, your ridges and rivers are highly sensitive ecosystems, and the species found within these areas are your alus, your lancia, your reginae. The river banks have a high clay-rich soil needs and grasses, which play a vital role in your flood protection and biodiversity. The geology includes your shale, your quattars, and your volcanic rock, which shape the landscape and plant distribution within the area. Our vision for the plant species is to protect and restore natural ecosystems through sustainable water and plant management, and our strategies include preserving sensitive areas by limiting human interference, implementing sustainable water systems such as your drip irrigation, and your greenhouses for food production.
Infrastructure considerations includes buildings and fauna. We noted that there are 5 different types of building uses: animal services, ablutions, public entertainment, operational, and historical. We also noted that around the elephant enclosure, most of the buildings are unused. We divided the spaces into animal enclosures, open unused spaces, and open enclosures. While there is very little organization to how the animals are laid out, we noticed that most of the animals are indigenous. We also noted that most of the habitats are fragmented and disconnected. Not only disconnected from each other, but disconnected from the people. Thus, we came to the strategy of enhancing the wildlife well-being. We do this through using the unused spaces and exhibits and connecting those spaces that need connecting.
Social considerations, user profiles, and circulation. We have identified 6 key users within the zoo. The staff and animals are the core users and backbone of the zoo experience. Staff perform all sorts of maintenance behind the scenes and provide care for all of the animals. The zoo is a place of work and care for them. Researchers and students in relevant fields are very common within the zoo, although you wouldn't notice them easily. They are quiet and keep to themselves, performing conservation studies and working with endangered species. The typical tourist is a diverse group of visitors, local or international. They require lots of shade and spots to relax and eat. Although they sometimes move in groups, interaction with others is rare. With 120 to 170,000 visitors per year, school children are the most important visitor to the zoo, engaging in various entertainment and learning opportunities. They require lots of open space and playgrounds. These users are also the loudest of the bunch. Parents, usually single, and their toddlers are also users of the educational spaces in open areas, but they are much quieter than the groups of school children, using the zoo as a bonding space to create lasting memories. Similarly, young couples frequent the zoo, requiring quiet seating, themed exhibitions, and food specials during their own bonding times. The vision for the Pretoria Zoo is to create a hub of movement and engagement between people and animals while respecting each other. The zoo envisions a future of balanced academic and commercial interaction with the public. As a final step before the design proposal, a SWOT analysis was implemented to determine the problem statement and concept moving forward. The zoo has been overdeveloped to the south, losing its core values of conservation in the process. By implementing habitat stitching, we aim to attract more activity to the neglected areas while providing spaces with rich biodiversity and human-nature interaction. The Pretoria Zoo's main strengths are related to its proximity to the city and value of conservation and biodiversity, as well as educational programs. However, the city influence can also be a weakness due to noise, pollution, and loss of biodiversity. A limited budget and outdated infrastructure also negatively influence the zoo. The zoo is at a turning point in its history, with many educational, commercial, and conservational opportunities on the horizon. If executed correctly, the zoo's future will be one of excellent public engagement. The main threats to this ideal is safety of the city streets, water, sanitation and distribution issues, climate change, and community perception.
The first strategy we are implementing is the restoration of existing systems and conservation of biodiversity and water. This is done through keeping sensitive areas undisturbed and making use of existing systems within the zoo. The next strategy is enhancing the wildlife well-being. This is done by optimizing the open spaces within the zoo. And lastly is providing user engagement and immersion. This is done through technical advancement and spatial design. This all comes together in the vision of habitat stitching. This makes use of pockets of biodiversity where the contact to humans is discouraged, open spaces which were previously underutilized but are now public spaces, and design interventions to facilitate animal well-being. We visualize these strategies through different interventions. The first being the glass garden, where we reuse the existing greenhouses for internal fruit production, as well as a didactic approach to farming, where visitors can engage with the greenhouses and plants. Next is the river centre, where visitors can learn more about conservation of water and biodiversity. Lastly is the life bridges. These connect the physical enclosures, but they immerse the user within the biodiversity and wildlife habitats. This is creating a haven of flourishing fauna and flora, which is the start of Pretoria's Zootopia.